Welcome to Kashi Clinical Laboratories Weight Management Panel Provider Training Webinar. My name is Dr. Corey Edwards. I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor in the state of Oregon. I am also adjunct faculty at the National University of Natural Medicine, where I teach genetics. Kashi Clinical Laboratories is a fully accredited laboratory in all 50 states, including New York, California, and Florida. We are also able to provide services internationally. At Kashi Clinical Laboratories, we are led by Dr. Kashi, who is a brilliant, dedicated, and respected scientist. She has worked hard to create an excellent facility that you as a provider can trust. The numerous advantages to using Kashi Health as your testing laboratory include non-invasive cheek swab, fast test results. All testing is done in-house. We are accredited in all 50 states and internationally. Comprehensive, easy-to-read reports, HIPAA-compliant electronic reporting, easy electronic payment options, wholesale volume pricing, and genetic test panels that are clinically relevant. In my practice, I have worked extensively with weight loss patients and have noticed that there is no one right diet that benefited them all. Some felt better and lost weight on low carbohydrate, high fat diets, while others thrived on vegan diets. In order to construct the right diet and treatment plan for your patient, you need a thorough understanding of their history, symptom picture, and chemistry. Genetic testing can give you this information quickly, allowing you to present a targeted treatment plan that can likely benefit the patient immediately. The Kashi Weight Management Panel tests for 5 genetic markers that have been shown through research to be associated with increased BMI. These genes are called FTO, MC4R, FABP2, ADRB2, SH2B1. These genes are involved in different aspects of weight management, and if your patient has one of the risk allele variants, they may struggle with the associated symptoms: trouble feeling full, sluggish metabolism, increased fat absorption, difficulty metabolizing carbohydrates, and losing weight from exercise, and increased risk of developing leptin and insulin resistance. The FTO gene is one of the most well-studied genetic markers associated with an increased risk of BMI. The FTO gene encodes for an enzyme that functions primarily in neurons, with a high level of expression in the hypothalamus. Though the exact way in which FTO contributes to increased weight is not completely understood, current research suggests that it is cause failure of the hypothalamus to suppress the signal from ghrelin, which is a hormone that tells the body you are still hungry. These patients struggle with feeling full and will consequently crave high-calorie foods. Here is an example of the recommendations Kashi staff physicians have formulated for patients who struggle with these symptoms. Eat low-calorie foods in small portions, frequently throughout the day, and increase metabolism with regular exercise to burn off fat and reduce cravings. MC4R is a gene that encodes for a receptor found on the cells of the hypothalamus. This receptor is involved in pathways within the hypothalamus that lead to the suppression of nutrient intake and to enhancement of metabolism. Patients with this risk allele will have a harder time feeling full and therefore crave calorie-dense foods. Another symptom related to this risk allele will be a sluggish metabolism. Patients with this risk allele will benefit greatly from small, frequent, low-calorie meals that are high in fiber to help increase their feeling of fullness. Equally beneficial for these patients is high-intensity exercise to burn off excess glucose. FABP2 is a gene that encodes for a fatty acid binding protein. Patients with this risk allele will have an increased binding affinity for long-chain saturated and unsaturated fatty acids by twofold. This increased absorption can lead to a higher risk of developing insulin resistance. Patients with this risk allele need to be very cautious of their carbohydrate and fat intake. Instead, they should consume calories from protein-rich foods that are also high in fiber. These patients benefit greatly from frequent low-intensity exercise. ADRB2 gene encodes for a receptor located on a variety of cells found throughout the body, including adipose tissue and hepatocytes. These receptors play a pivotal role in glycogenolysis. Patients with this risk allele will often have trouble losing weight despite engaging in high-intensity exercise. Patients with this risk allele will benefit most from a low-carbohydrate diet due to their difficulty with glucose metabolism. Patients would do best to choose low-glycemic foods rich in protein and fiber while engaging in low to moderate exercise for at least 60 minutes a day. SH2B1 encodes for a protein that is involved in the signal transduction pathway in response to the cellular signals from insulin and leptin. Research has shown a correlation between the risk allele for this gene and an increase in leptin and insulin resistance. The priority for these patients is to reduce spikes in insulin and leptin by eating protein and fiber-rich foods that break down more slowly in the digestive tract. We recommend combining this dietary protocol with moderate intensity exercise lasting 30 to 60 minutes a day. A very common question I get as a clinical consultant is how easy are the test results to interpret? Many of the clinicians I work with are new to genetic testing and want to make sure they feel confident in presenting the patient's test results. The team at Kashi Health have worked hard to construct a simple, straightforward genetic analysis report that is full of great information. I will go over each section you see in this slide with greater detail, starting with the test results section. This section of the report contains the test results for the 5 genetic markers. In the first column, we list the name of the gene tested for. In the second column of the report, a normal result is displayed. To the right of the column labeled normal is the test result column. This is where the patient's genotype is reported. Next to their test result is a visual representation of their genotype, which helps to quickly and easily determine if the patient has none, 1, or 2 copies of the risk allele. If a patient has 2 copies of the risk allele, their circle will be completely red. In the middle column, titled Association, we have listed a quick summary of symptoms the risk allele is associated with. The last 2 columns on the right are short summaries of both food intake and exercise intensity recommendations. In this section of the genetic analysis report, the key aspects of the patient's test results are listed in a quick, concise manner. Note that in this sample report, the patient only had positive markers for the FTO, MC4R, and FABP2 risk alleles, and that is why the symptom picture outlined in this section was generated. Lastly, in this section, diet recommendations are generated specifically for your patient based on their genotype. This will include a combination of recommendations that address each risk allele your patient possesses. It allows you to combine all the previous information into an easy-to-understand, patient-specific dietary plan. In addition to the first page of the report that we just covered, the weight management panel includes additional pages that elaborate on the recommended exercise regimes, lifestyle suggestions, and an expanded explanation of genetics in general. The information in these additional pages of the report are not patient-specific and instead general in nature. One of the biggest advantages to genetic testing with Kashi Health is our quick, easy, and painless sample collection kits. All that is required from the patient is a quick cheek swab that can be performed in office. This testing method is great for patients that are afraid of needles, hard to draw blood from, or for the younger population. One of the most common questions I get from providers is concerning the similarity in diet and lifestyle recommendations. Though some are similar, many are specific for the genetic marker and do not overlap. This enables you as the practitioner to provide a targeted treatment plan that will maximize your patient's results. In our society, being overweight is often not considered an illness. Instead, it is looked upon as a choice the person has made. Judgment is passed on to the person with the assumption that they eat too much or don't work out enough. With genetic testing, you can clearly show your patient that the symptoms they are experiencing are not their fault, but instead they stem from physiological differences within them. Here at Kashi, we choose to test for genetic markers that can be treated so that the patient has a better understanding of their options. Treating weight loss requires a combination of the right ingredients. A good weight loss program can contain the right food recommendations, exercise, energy, and chemistry. Kashi Health can provide you with these tools to increase the success of your program. In order for a practice to be successful, you need all the pieces of a puzzle to align. Here at Kashi Health, we are committed to helping bring these puzzle pieces together for you with our testing services, health training webinars, marketing plan outline, which is a free resource for providers. Kashi also offers a complimentary consultation with a staff clinician such as myself to help train you on how to interpret and present test results to your patients. Also, source supplements that support your program and monthly workshops. At Kashi Health, we are not just dedicated to providing excellent testing services, but in addition to this, we provide resources to improve the success of your weight management practice. Currently, we are working to expand the resources available to our providers by developing additional material to help increase practice success. The first step to getting started is signing up as a provider at kashihealth.com. After you have done that, you can request test kits and get started testing. After you have returned your first sample, you will receive a free consultation with a clinical consultant such as myself. In addition to checking out our website, please feel free to contact the Kashi Health account managers, Shayna and Vivian, directly. The best way to contact these ladies is through their emails listed on the slide. Thank you very much for your time and have a great day.